Members of the royal family have attended a special service for the Duke of Edinburgh at a chapel in Windsor. Prince Harry has reportedly landed in the UK ahead of his grandfather's funeral on Saturday. Joining me now live is Juliet Rieden, royal author and editor-at-large of the Australian Women's Weekly. Juliet, thank you for joining me. Prince Harry reportedly back in the UK. This is the first time that the family has been reunited since that Oprah interview. Do you think they can heal this rift?
Well, I think they have to heal this rift, and what a place to do it. I think the Duke of Edinburgh will be bringing his family back together, which is, he's been the glue in this family for his whole career and his whole life, and he's playing that role once again here in his funeral.
Prince Andrew spoke to reporters this morning after a church service for Prince Philip. He said that the Queen is feeling this as a huge void. Juliet, when we think they were together for over 70 years, it must be incredibly difficult.
Yes, and especially as the last couple of years they have spent more time together than they've spent for many, many decades. COVID has forced them into this bubble. Both of them very active in the past and were used to being out and about and doing their own thing. But they have been together and had this wonderful quality time during the pandemic, albeit with that stay with Prince Philip in hospital. But I think it's caused a huge, they've bonded, they've got back together. 73 years, goodness me, what a marriage.
Yeah, such a long time. And their relationship, it had its ups and downs over the years, but he really supported her and was always by her side.
Yes, I don't think you can ever underestimate how important Prince Philip was to his wife. The Queen said that he was her strength and stay, and really that is an understatement. He was so much part of who she was. She will be really feeling it now, and I think it's lovely that the family are gathering around their mother. They're the ones that are coming out and giving these tributes and talking to the public, leaving the Queen to grieve behind closed doors. We will all see her at the funeral, and I think everyone around the world is really feeling for the Queen now.
Yeah, absolutely. Prince Andrew said this morning as well that the UK has lost the grandfather of the nation. Just how big of an impact did Prince Philip have on the country?
Well, it's a question I've been asking myself the last couple of days, because the outpouring of emotion from Britons, but also from Australians, has been quite extraordinary. And I think the thing about Prince Philip was he's done an awful lot of work in those 73 years of marriage, and that means that he's met a lot of people, so he has touched a lot of lives, and I think that is coming out now. Those people are coming out. They've all got their own anecdotes about meeting Prince Philip or working with Prince Philip, and obviously everyone he met he had a great effect on them, and we're seeing that now. We're also seeing the measure of the man. He was the longest Prince Consort ever, and being a Prince Consort is a very difficult role, and he clearly played a blinder. It was a wonderful, wonderful, he was a wonderful sense of service and duty and support for the Queen.
Absolutely. And you mentioned there's been a tremendous outpouring of grief. People are certainly laying flowers, paying their respects across the UK. The funeral will be held this Saturday in the UK. It will be different. The public have been told not to congregate. How difficult will that be in itself, not to be able to attend a funeral or gather in person as they used to be able to?
I think it's going to be very difficult for the British people. These moments are hugely important. This is about the relationship between the monarchy and its people. And at times like this, the people turn out. This is the golden thread. And so not being able to do that is very difficult. But, the pandemic has made it difficult for many people, as Prince Andrew pointed out. And he's starting to realise now that losing his father has been suffered by many people in many ways, not just the prince, not just Prince Philip, but other people's loved ones. And certainly the nation will be feeling that at this funeral, that they won't be able to pay the tributes in the way that they are used to doing.
With Prince Philip's passing, it now leaves the Queen. Juliet, is she now the last and the strongest remaining cord to the England of old?
I think so, yes. It is really the end of an era, isn't it? And this connection to the old way of doing things, I think it feels, it touches at your heartstrings, but it does represent this moving on. And I think the older generation will feel it greatly.
And what about Prince Philip's connection to Australia? Over the years, from 1940, he visited here more than 20 times. What sort of an impact did he have on our country?
Well, it's turning out that he had quite a big impact. I mean, he visited more times than any other royal. He obviously met a lot of people on those visits. He had a real fond affection for Australia in many ways. I think we thought of him as a bit of an honorary larrikin. He loved our straightforwardness. He loved the land. He loved the outdoors. He played polo here. He did a bit of surfing in his early days. And, for someone who lives in Britain, who is the Prince Consort, to come so many times to Australia, to this land, shows how important it was to him. And, therefore he is important to us.